We're all already enlightened. Enlightenment is our birthright, and it's been our birthright for all of our births and all of our lives. It's a gift we've all been given. Most of us simply haven't opened it yet. Welcome back to Glimpse. Thanks for tuning in. What is meditation in Dzogchen? What is Rigpa in Dzogchen? In my experience, meditation is largely misunderstood in the West from a Buddhist's perspective. First, the term meditation actually means to meditate on something, which usually isn't the idea behind meditation in the West, how it's taught or how it's practiced. In the West, most think of meditation as ridding the mind of thoughts, and so it's taught as a means to this end, without the needed initial steps that make this second goal, having no thoughts, much easier to attain and more applicable to further realization. And many think the meditation is the goal, and practicing it will make you better at it, which of course it will. Many think we practice meditation in order to be able to meditate well, that meditation is solely to rid the mind of thoughts, that to have no thoughts is what meditation is for, and many feel that being able to rid the mind of thoughts is what being a good meditator is. And if ridding your mind of thoughts is only what you're looking to accomplish from meditation, even though that's not what meditation really means, then practicing meditation is what you need to do. And it's an admirable and beneficial practice for sure. As with anything, practice is what we need to do in order to get better at something. And while ridding the mind of thoughts is the goal of meditation in this context, it's not the goal for meditation when speaking in terms of why Buddhists meditate. And ridding the mind of troublesome thoughts is an important thing to be able to do. As well, many who practice this type of meditation do practice with the intention of becoming enlightened, but generally lack the necessary tools or instruction to understand what to do next once they start reaching the goal of having moments with no thought, and often aren't even aware there is a next phase. Meditation through a Buddhist's eyes is simply one practice for achieving the ultimate goal of enlightenment. In Buddhism, meditation as a practice is to achieve one-mindedness, which is a stepping stone to ridding the mind of thoughts, which in turn is a stepping stone to finding enlightenment. In Dzogchen, meditation or one-mindedness is a tool to progress towards finding nowness, which is called Rigpa in Dzogchen. And Rigpa can only be described as non-meditation. But it is not simply not having thoughts. Rigpa is an astute awareness, nowness. It is nowness, a place where no negative karma is created, a place where one's vision expands, one's hearing expands, and the sameness of all beings, both sentient and non-sentient beings, are all revealed in equanimity, that they are all existing at the same moment and are all contained in the same moment and the same energy that has no birth and no death, in which there is no future and no past. All is only nowness, is only Rigpa. Rigpa is the ultimate ground of existence. It is natural, pure, spontaneous awareness, which, again, to elaborate this wisdom, no words exist. My futile attempt doesn't come close to being able to elaborate the wisdom of Rigpa. The immensity of Rigpa, the infinite of Rigpa. And finding or being introduced to Rigpa does not alone mean that one has become enlightened, though they do go hand in hand in a way. Achieving Rigpa is the first and necessary achievement on the way to enlightenment. And few know what it is or have ever even heard of it or are aware of how it manifests. And even when it does dawn on us, the meditator, there is little to no context in modern society for us to know what has just happened to us, even though we've all had glimpses of it in our regular lives. We'll talk further on meditation as one-mindedness, explain Dzogchen meditation, and talk about Rigpa as nowness as we progress through these early teachings. Of course, I'm being very general here. This is a simple explanation to explain what is a very profound level of understanding or wisdom, which, for to elaborate, there really aren't words. It's impossible to elaborate wisdom to another. This is one of the most frustrating things about wisdom or Rigpa or enlightenment, that it's so hard for one to elaborate to others because there simply aren't words that can describe what wisdom is or feels like. This was one of the greatest sadnesses for Buddha himself. Only experience can open the doors to wisdom. But one thing I would like to clarify is how we perceive the words profound and wisdom. Even the way I speak of them now is misleading. We often associate these words with something esoteric, hard to understand, or so deep their understanding is only for the few and not for everyone. On the contrary, profound means it's easy, it's uncomplicated, it's natural, it's innate. It's something we already possess and have possessed forever. It comes from within. We already have all this wisdom. We're all already enlightened. Enlightenment is our birthright, and it's been our birthright for all of our births and all of our lives. It's a gift we've all been given. Most of us simply haven't opened it yet. This is why we have teachings and practices and instructions. The teachings of Buddhism are to help elaborate the wisdom. Instructions and practices help us have our own experiences that can bring us to our own understandings and realizations that eventually lead us to our wisdom and enlightenment. We have the desire to practice. Our practice leads to experiences. Our experiences enhance our practice and inspire us to keep going on the path. And this is the important part. The desire to practice and keep on practicing springs from our experiences that come from our practice. It's a beautiful, inspiring circle of illumination that ultimately unfolds from within. Teachings, instructions, and practices are simply roadmaps or simply a road for us to travel. And along the way, while en route, we'll have our own experiences. Experiences that come from within and that can lead to our enlightenment. That also comes from within. There are, however, important documented realizations that we'll all come to along the way. And these are detailed in the teachings. These realizations will be the same for everyone, though our experiences of how we get to them will manifest in different ways. These realizations, and later we'll introduce some examples, are road signs we'll see along the way that let us know that our road, that the road we're on, is still heading to the destination where we will all eventually meet. Everyone's road, or path as it's referred to in Dzogchen, is completely different. In other words, everyone's experiences are completely different, but they all lead to the same innate, profound realizations and the same innate, profound destination, which tellingly are remarkably the same for everyone. And this is how we know that what we found, when we find it, is truth. And that it is for everyone. Because once we've had these realizations, once we've realized what's happened to us and where we all of a sudden are, we also realize that it came from within. No one gave it to us. It was ours. We just opened it. And that we are all the same and are all deserving of this gift. That we all have this gift because the enlightenment has been the same for the countless millions that have found it. And for all of them, it's come from within. And it's always manifested in the same way for every single person. Love. Depthless, boundless love and equanimity for all beings. And those millions have come from every walk of life, from every economic situation, from all different backgrounds, and from all religions and races. Enlightenment is real, and it's for everyone. It's not something esoteric or only attainable by the few, the chosen. And because enlightenment manifests almost exactly the same for every single person that's found it, it's unmistakable. It's unmistakably enlightenment. It's unmistakably for everyone, and it's unmistakably from within. Next time on Glimpse, we're going to talk about how to meditate in Dzogchen, why we meditate this way in Dzogchen, and how it helps us move towards enlightenment more quickly. Thanks so much for tuning in to Glimpse, and see you next time.